misappropriation of public resources. From the onset of my administration, I made it clear that Ghana's resources belong to the people of Ghana and must be used judicially for their collective good. The diversion of public funds for personal gain undermines development, it erodes public trust, and deepens inequality. It is for this reason that Operation Recover All the Loot was launched, to ensure that what had been wrongfully taken from the state is restored to its rightful owners, the Ghanaian people. I therefore wish to commend the members of this team for their dedication and professionalism in carrying out this vital national assignments without compensation, without expectation of any remuneration. The recommendations of the report will be carefully studied, and where legal action and investigations are warranted, they will be pursued without fear or favor.
Bano, ama ya adwene ene se Ghana nyina na ye behwe ni ebetimi aye si ye be ye fa say why so idine ne honam so ana woni anso e alaji any wise si ne be ya wo sori anopa wo be nanti bridge so aye tietia ene edoma when it is then of best country Papa or see a maybe see a bay out of the story in some number of course when you offer so Dr. Manikwama asoma omo se omo behwe ase wona adwem se ofe se oye training ni soja for training ni almost
so we MPP ni mapa na wo kotu se MPP for and say MPP ni any NDC ni eko a wo MPP ni no na yembu NDC ni no we are giving the EC 1 week. 1 week, 7 days. The EC must come and declare our candidate as the winner of the election. If the NDC led by Mahama Ayariga will not be reasonable, no matter based on all the evidence available, the winner, no more margin somebody to trust them, they will continue. You are not going to allow the EC to collect. Asundia di asundia mu nyebi wo pale. Se IGP ayena agense obeye hwehan na nkrofoi akosua di nkwasiasam afitu asam a we will continue to demonstrate. Charles! Charles!
officers. While that is ongoing, the other members of the committee, including the
So that table is gone. But again, the remnants of so that table is gone. But again, the remnants of so that table is gone. But again, the remnants of so that table is gone. But again, the remnants of so that table is gone. But again, the remnants of so that table is gone. But again, the remnants of so that table is gone. But again, the remnants of
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now. Borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, hello, good morning, and you're welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and today is the 11th of February 2025. Thank God for giving us another day to go through the issues of the country. Let's start off with the headlines of the newspapers. I start with the Daily Graphic, and it says, President directs action on oral cases. Implement child online protection policy. Activists demand ahead of Internet Safety Day. Okada legalization process begins. All set for Council of State election today. Ghanaian Times. FDA leads 7 African regulators to foster trust, accelerate access to medicines. Sign anti-LGBTQI plus into law. National Ramadan Conference urges government. Otto Forson's picture is here. It says Government IMF commends meeting on policy direction 2025 budget. And the big one, acts on oral report. President directs Attorney General. Daily Guide. Pay assembly members. Osia Adeyo Frimpong Manso. JB Danko's wife criticizes Parliament's silence. Vetting chaos. I take blame. The Pemekpo. Galamsey threatens Obuasi airstrip. The New Crusading Guide. Don't cancel nursing and teacher trainee allowances. NPP to Mahama. CSOs call for urgent reforms in Ghana's petroleum sector. Notice of a stolen Toyota Corollas and Corolla S, and that's at the top right corner of the New Crusading Guide. Tension looms at Prisia Sankofa gold mines as NDC youth chase out MD. Manasseh Zuri Jabs Mahama describes him as chief clearing agent. The Insight. SMG condemns war in DR Congo by neo-colonial African elites and Western imperialist interests. Angela List accused of thuggery lawlessness over alleged attempt to claim BCM assets. GDLA reminds President Mahama his pledge to return Gadangme lands. Russian troops liberate key Donbas town, a new push. MOD. Let's go for Metro Lens. Military engineers tackle a so-called hazardous school route. Defense diplomacy. Omane Boma hosts diplomats for key security discussions. Baumia pays tribute to Namibia's founding president, Dr. Sam Nujoma. And then we also have Ghana's petroleum on brink of collapsing as CSOs call for urgent reforms. The Daily Searchlight. Mahama receives showboating oral reports. Sets agenda to cause major financial loss to Ghana. Minority Caucus withdraws from Baping's Confusion Committee, alleges bias, ad hoc committee over alleged bias concerns. Good move. Mahama orders bridge construction at a Swoko community to facilitate access to school. 2 Nigerian businessmen in court over alleged 820,000 fraud. Daily Post. Council of State election today. Why Tanko Kwamiga must win to represent Volta. Commence immediate probe into oral reports. Mahama orders Attorney General. Justice, not endless trials. Kwekwaza speaks on dropped prosecutions. And then we have Economy Times. Ghana's cocoa sector at risk of falling further. Interest rates remain stable during fortnight after BOG retains benchmark rate. Crucial negotiations over public and minimum wage for 2025 begin. Business and Financial Times. Budgets, others take center stage as governments IMF meets. Kobe Mensah calls for cultural asset valuation. Kejita Market owes ECG 1.6 million Ghana cedis. ACDT urges full integration of Ghana card into banking operations. Economy losing trade benefits over Istanbul Convention. Right. Well, that's it for the headlines this morning. For the Business and Financial Times, these are the headlines also for you. We'll take a breather. We'll be back shortly.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
You the answer to my prayers. You're with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know tonight.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302-540-668 or 0501-678-547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enko ye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se mi nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu ni me into kwankwa. Oyiwa. Enye mo ko. Give us JC lecture and any capsules. Aye num boom. En ho asem na mo kana. E boa emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be boa wo kunu. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya ne nim tisese ne oyi chokwa. DC mixture and then a castle.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one and Quada when if you do me. In an era where fire safety is paramount, Kabori Film Compound Technologies Limited stands out as a leader in the development of innovative fire dousing solutions. With a focus on aqueous film forming foam, the company provides a cutting-edge product that significantly enhances fire suppression capabilities across various sectors, including maritime, industrial and emergency response.
The oil and gas sector, along with chemical manufacturing facilities and fire services.
Kabori's advanced film technology offers a more efficient and environmentally responsible alternative.
Kabori is recognized for its superior extinguishing capabilities and prolonged resistance to reignition. Kabori's product is certified by the Ghana National Fire Service, the Ghana Standards Authority, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Nigerian Standards Organization.
Kabori Film Compound Limited is situated in Nsawam within the eastern region of Ghana. For inquiries, reach out to them on 0245 885 288 or 0244 514 048. You may also contact them via email at info@kaborifilm.com. Kabori Film Compound Technologies Limited, providing film compound solutions to help institutions.
Look around.
Home also need a makeover.
Mine clearly does. So we went to Ashroom and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Matching furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como collection? Dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashphone store now and discover the new Como collection. Ashphone, feel it, know it.
It is with great solemnity and a deep sense of duty that I receive this comprehensive report of Operation Recover All the Loot, an initiative that represents our unwavering commitment to the fight against corruption, financial malfeasance, and the misappropriation of public resources. From the onset of my administration, I made it clear that Ghana's resources belong to the people of Ghana and must be used judicially for their collective good. The diversion of public funds for personal gain undermines development, it erodes public trust, and deepens inequality. It is for this reason that Operation Recover All the Loot was launched, to ensure that what had been wrongfully taken from the state is restored to its rightful owners, the Ghanaian people. I therefore wish to commend the members of this team for their dedication and professionalism in carrying out this vital national assignments without compensation, without expectation of any remuneration. The meticulous investigations, legal actions, and asset recoveries reflected in this report are a testament to the seriousness with which this government approaches the issue of accountability and good governance. The findings of this report make for sober reading. They reveal the scale of financial leakages that have cost our nation dearly. Resources that should have been invested in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and social development. But they also offer hope that through our collective efforts, we can reclaim what is ours and deter future acts of economic sabotage. As we receive this report, let me assure the Ghanaian people that the work does not end here. The recommendations of the report will be carefully studied, and where legal action and investigations are warranted, they will be pursued without fear or favor. Every peso recovered will be channeled back into national development, and mechanisms will be strengthened to prevent such losses in the future. I have promptly handed over the report to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, and I give him firm instructions to commence immediate investigations into the cases reported in here with a view to prosecuting anyone found liable for corruption or related offenses. To those who think they can defraud the state and escape justice, let this serve as a strong warning. Ghana is no longer a safe haven for corruption. To those who stand for integrity, accountability, and the rule of law, I assure you that this government remains your steadfast partner in building a nation where honesty and hard work are rewarded. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a defining moment in our fight against corruption. We must all play our parts, citizens, civil society, the media, and public officials alike. Together, we will build a Ghana that is just, transparent, and prosperous for generations to come. I thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Oh, okay. You're welcome back to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and just gone by is what President Mahama was addressing the oral team that actually, presented its report to him as they had done the work that he expected them to do, or he put them, as we call them, they are the preparatory team. If we have some time, we'll speak with maybe a member of the oral team so that we get some clarity, because there are a few things we want to clear when it comes to the work of the oral team. Is it done, or is going to be a continuum? Are they going to still stay there and be receiving some more reports? Because we're told that some of you are still bringing in reports and you're coming late and all that. So they say, well, their mandates will end as and when they present the reports. Has it ended? So we will get into that. But let me welcome the guest to you this morning. I have Evans Amankwa. He is actually the chairman of the Ashanti Regional NDC legal team, and also former Adansi Asokwa parliamentary candidate. Am I right?
Yes, for 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah.
I'll come to you on that. But let me also quickly welcome the former member of parliament for the Tema Central constituency. A lot happened in his constituency during these elections. I don't know if it's because he was not involved, because he's a very calm gentleman, and I wonder what happened. Anyway, so Honorable Yves Hansen Norte is also with us this morning in the studio. You're welcome.
Good morning, my
Thank you so much. And I'm sorry about your little princess.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's do just a quick one before we actually get into the main discussion. Well, it's part of the main discussion anyway. We'll get to the Eastern region and speak with the Eastern Regional Minister, Rita Awate, who was with the Defense Minister, in fact, the military team who went after the noise had been made on social media. His Excellency the President also came in and gave him a response telling us that he had identified the area, and so I think following which he sent the team. Dr. Mane Boma was the one who was actually leading the whole team, but apportioned the responsibilities to them. So you would see that we have pictures of them and then video. So that's the Eastern Regional Minister. She's joined us on the phone lines to let us understand exactly what is happening going forward. Madam Rita Awate, we're grateful for your time this morning on Good Morning Ghana. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So yesterday, we saw you in our videos. We saw the military as well. Now, just give us a brief of how you received the reports and how you proceeded to the area we were talking about.
Okay, thank you. Once again, I want to say a very good morning to my listeners. On Sunday, I was called by the Honorable Interior Defense Minister, Honorable Dr. Amani Buama, and he showed me a video to look for the location in the Eastern region. Our search began within the next 30 minutes. We were able to find the location in the Upper West Achim constituency. It is a river that divides the community into two, and children and people of the community at Esoko have to cross the river with through a log, a tree that fell over the river. And it happened that two boys, a boy around 9 years old and one between 3 to 4 years old, were crossing, and a very good community person videoed them and sent it viral. Initially, when I saw the video, it was difficult for me to watch it because it was so scary a video.
So it was in the Upper West Achim constituency, right?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And,
initially, we thought it was Lower West Achim, but on getting to the site, we realized it was rather within, but it just, they are close sister communities, so it is in the Upper West Achim constituency.
Okay, what's the name of this river?
Esioko.
Esioko River. And our local assembly, or is the local assembly aware that there are schools, behind this river?
Yes, please. Yesterday we were there, and we even had the opportunity of interacting with the assembly member of the area. We also went with the coordinating director of the municipality and the two MPs, both from Lower West Achim and Upper West Achim.
So they confirmed that they are aware that there are schools behind this river.
Yes,
how many schools?
Yes. Actually, I don't have the specific for the number of schools that are behind the river. Today, I have a lot of questions that I'll be giving. There are certain things I'll be asking from the community, because radio stations kept asking me about specifics, number of people that live in the community, number of schools behind the river, and so many other things. So it's just a reminder that I have to ask so many questions from both the assembly member and the municipal assembly, and also the member of parliament.
Who's your assembly member?
I don't even know his name. I met him yesterday. He gave a briefing to the media that went with us. So I'm yet to follow up on all those things. All we did yesterday was to go to the location with our technocrats, both from the Defense Ministry and also from the Regional Coordinating Council. We went with our engineers, and we want to appreciate the Defense Minister for giving us the opportunity to have his technocrats, his engineers, to go with us to take assessment, measurements, so they could assess the situation.
How about the current DC?
Currently, we don't have a DC over there. I think our government is about to place appoint MCs for almost all the municipal and district assemblies. So
we don't have anyone working as in an acting position.
In its absence, the coordinating director of the municipal assembly.
Okay, great.
Acting. Yeah.
Okay, so the coordinating director is the one that is in the acting position, right?
Yes, please. In fact, they went with us.
Okay.
Almost all the staff of the municipal assembly went with us yesterday.
Did you get the impression that they were well abreast with issues within this community?
Yes, please. They told us that it's a concern that has been raised by the people of the community over and over, and even the two MPs even raised it, that it is something that they are all new, first-time MPs, and they were just voted in power some few months back. So it is a concern of the people in the community that they have also taken note of, and they are also working assiduously to make
it's appreciated that it's their first time, so we can understand. However, well, it's governance is a continuum, so we're expecting that they would have been briefed already.
Yes.
So in the past government, when they say that the community or the residents had raised concerns, what did they do? What reports have they gathered from them that they, followed up in making sure that they bring a solution to this particular situation?
Madam, I don't currently have any information on that. Like I told you yesterday, I'm also a new person. I'm just in office for the past 5 days, and this happened. So we are following up on issues, what decisions have been taken during the former administration, and what decisions were taken by the Municipal Assembly concerning that bridge or that river. We are yet to follow up on all of them.
Just some extra questions about the river. Is the river affected by Galamsey activities?
I can't give the specific answer, but when you look at the nature and the color of the river, you see that there might be an illegal mining around the banks of that river at a place, but we are yet to follow up on that.
Well, you are Eastern Regional Minister. I'm sure you're aware that there are some illegal Galamsey activities within that region as well.
I am very, very aware, and we have started the process. Last week, I met with the RECSEC, and we have taken various security decisions to act within the shortest possible time concerning all illegal mining activities in the region.
Madam Writer, we'll come back to you on Galamsey because your region is, I think, one of the ones on our maps or under our radar. So we definitely will come back to you on that. But back to the young man and his brother. He's called Wise. I heard you in the video asking him questions. His name is Wise. Do we have any plans for him? Well, it's an emergency. We don't expect him to be crossing this log again either today or tomorrow or ever. So what are the emergency situation put in place for him and kids as such?
Yeah. Yesterday, we want to appreciate the two MPs of both Lower West Akim and Upper West Akim. The MP for Upper West Akim, in collaboration with the Lower West Akim MP, Honorable Emmanuel Dra and Honorable Owen Frimpong, donated an amount of 4,000 to the parents of the two children, 2 to each family, for the immediate intervention. That our plans are they should have a vehicle that will be taking them in and out of school. And we also want to appreciate other people. Yesterday, a member of somebody from the Eastern region also called that you want to start supporting the children, maybe find a bus that could be taking all the children, not them alone, but all other children that will be crossing to the other side of the river to have their education or whatever. So whatever we want to do or government want to do for the community is done.
And well, yesterday you asked a child what he wanted to do in the future. He said he wants to be a military man.
Yes. When you look at the bravery nature of what the child did, how he even managed to carry his brother behind him on that small log to cross, we saw the boy has an ambition. So I quickly asked him what he wants to do. And of course, he said he wants to be a military man when he grows. So it was maybe the military tactics he started displaying at that early stage.
Well, we don't want a maybe answer. Sometimes children like these are hard to come by. They are special, breed, sort of. We wish that, or maybe I wish, that this child will get certain level of focus when it comes to bringing him up in life and, helping him chart a path that he interests.
Yeah, it is our wish. It is the wish of me as a minister, as a regional minister. It is the wish of the defense ministry. It is the wish of our president. And of course, it is the wish of the ruling party that we find a solution to that issue over there, and also make sure that Wise and his brother complete their school. Every necessary support that we have to give to them, we have started and will continue. So an amicable solution is found to the situation, so that further we also want to take up certain responsibility to help their parents to be able to educate them, not them alone, but all other children that fall within such circumstance.
Are we going to have, a situation where you're, and I'm glad you are a woman in the Eastern region, but women, you probably look at things differently. Is there a possibility of having your solution replicated across other regions? Because yesterday I made reference to the Weja Dam the Wager River that also claimed about 7 lives of children in 2023. We didn't see the end of the investigation. So there are other children in other areas suffering same fate. Maybe if the Eastern region is able to achieve some, objective as far as the transportation of these kids are concerned, it can be replicated across board.
Yeah, as an educationist and a teacher, of course, and also a gender activist, I've worked with women and children almost all my life, and it is something that is a heart desire. When this issue crops up, we have more information. I learned even in the Afran Plains North or South, there is a similar situation, and we are almost gathering our efforts so that we could also move to that place and see what is happening. I just wish all other colleagues in all the regions also take up such responsibility so that we could find lasting solutions to such problems in our regions and our localities, so that children will have a safe environment to be educated and also help their parents and help their communities.
Rita, we'll leave it here. I have some guests in there. Do you want to ask her any question? Honorable Evans, do you want to? Okay. Well, cool. So, Rita, thank you so much for your time. We will get back with you and ask you some more questions, maybe follow up on this development and see how far you go with your plans, and then also get into how far you're going with Galamsey.
Okay, thank you, Radio Go. Thank you. I appreciate you. Good morning, Ghana.
Please, this
Good
is Metro
morning,
TV.
Oh, Metro TV. I'm sorry. Metro TV, thank you so much. Thank you.
We're grateful for your time. Rita Wate is the Eastern Regional Minister there, sharing her thoughts on, how far they have gone as the government decided to work on it. The Minister for Defense wrote on his page, updating us on also how far he went when the president sent him to do the work. Engineers of Ghana Armed Forces have already visited the Suoko community, where young school children have crossed this water body to access the school in the Eastern region. As a president, John Dramani Mahama assured Ghanaians, we are working permanently and urgently to resolve challenges the people and the school children of Suoko are facing. So that's the update he, fed us with. As it is now, according to the minister, she lacks the statistics of the schools behind the river and maybe the number of the community. Obviously, we're asking the same question, so she is going back to probably through those questions and get those statistics. We want to know the numbers we're working with. If military is in, if defense ministry is in, if the minister is in, and government itself is in, they have to know the people they're working with so that we'll know the budget we're putting into that. Anyway, back to my studio guests. You're welcome once again, gentlemen, and I thank you for your time. Yves, thank you so much. How's opposition? And how's being out of parliament like?
Well, firstly, good morning to all your viewers and listeners. Well, I'll say opposition is fine. There's nothing wrong. It's early days. We are putting ourselves together. We are preparing to capture power in 2028. So there's a lot of work to be done. A lot has gone under the bridge. However, there's a lot of work to be done. We believe that we have what it takes to recapture power in 2028. If we put our works together, we put our shoulder to the wheel, we put in the effort, we work as a united front, which I know that MPP through its leadership is capable of doing. We've done it before. We've done it in 96 to 2000. We've done it in 2008, 2016. But this time we'll do it in 2028 because we believe that, yes, we made some mistakes. We've gone to our people. We are speaking to them. We are engaging them. We have a leadership led by the former Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Michael Quay, and his team. They've interacted with me, for example. They've been to my constituency. We've had very frank discussions. So I know and I believe that at the end of the day, when we are done and we go through our processes, we can capture power in 2028. So everything is fine. We are putting our tools together, and hopefully by end of this year, we'll hit the road running.
Okay, you were a part of the MPs that were calling for the head of Ken?
Yes, I was part of Ken Must Go.
Ken must go, yes.
Yes.
Ken must go.
Yes.
So were you actively involved during the elections?
Yes. I was
were you
actually
supporting
involved.
your candidates?
Obviously, my candidate was Dr. Baobia, and then my PC in Tema Central was Charles Forson. I did everything I was supposed to do for them. I was an integral part of the campaign team.
Okay.
Dr. Baobia's campaign team.
And in the constituency as well?
Yes, in my constituency as well. I even had to go and work in other constituencies too. So I worked in Ashaiman, I worked in somewhere in the Western region. We have different roles that we play. It's not just the campaigning in our constituencies or on the streets that makes us part and parcel of the team. The team is broad. The people who are doing just social media. The other MPs who are doing just social media. The other people who are just responding to queries from people and all that. So it's a whole broad. I've been there before. I've been a candidate myself. He has been a candidate on 3 occasions. So he knows how it is. It's a whole structure. Most often times the candidate is just a figurehead. You know, there are people who are just supporting with their funds. Others who are supporting with their time. Others who are supporting with their mind. So all the things that you see on the ground.
So what did you see in Tema Central? Because it's one of the controversial constituencies.
So Tema Central, firstly, from my perspective, the people of Tema Central felt, I would say, that we are not being dealt a good hand by the NPP, in all honesty. Because the Tema Central has delivered for the NPP for the, I mean, since we were even Tema West and Tema East, the 2 Temas, we have delivered, I mean, since 1992, 1996, 2000, we deliver with good margins, 30,000, 35,000, 15,000, 20,000. I mean, those days we even had rural Tema West, which is now Klagon and all those places. We used to deliver all those places, part of Ashaiman. We've even helped Ashaiman, MPP win Ashaiman before. We won Ashaiman in 2004. So we have delivered, we deliver just like any other city, maybe Ashanti region. We deliver just like one Tema will deliver. Yet Tema Central has never been politically rewarded. Not just Tema Central, let me say the Tema region. Until Titus became regional minister and deputy minister. Let me bring it to Tema Central alone. Tema Central has never had a DC. We have never had a deputy minister. We have never had a minister, ambassador, any political position or reward that you might think of. Tema Central has never been awarded any of those. So the people of Tema Central felt that the MPP was taking them for granted. That one, I have to be honest. It got to a point I couldn't even go to the people to even go and interact with them. What are you going to tell them? You live in a community with your roads minister, for example. We lived with him from childhood. He became roads minister. He was there for 8 years. In that 8 years, he fixed the roads in a certain part of the community where he lives. And the rest of the community where our votes actually come from, we didn't get any roads. I didn't blame him. I don't blame him because it got to a point he was also saying, look, there's no money coming from the center. There's no money to pay for these projects, so I cannot do A, B, C, D for you guys. So that's why we all channeled our grievances to the finance minister at that time. Yes. So if you understand it from that perspective, you will know where we are coming from. I mean, we didn't get even 2 kilometers of road. We got some roads, I'm being honest, we got some roads, but not where we needed them. We got the roads in his neighborhood.
So do you think that what you did costed you your failure to retain the seat?
In Tema Central, we won the seat.
No, I mean
me. I wouldn't say so.
You suffered opposition in government?
No, I suffered opposition in government. That is one. Number 2, my people, let me use my people. Tema Central people became rebellious. I was saying that, look, let's go with the system one more time. So let's go with Dr. Baumia. They said no, they'll go with Ken. Even my own core executives were with Kennedy Japan. Even people, my own driver was with Kennedy Japan because they felt that we have been betrayed. You know, so I suffered. You. Yes. So I'm just telling you, people are very close, people are like in my skin, were anti the system. Okay. The easiest thing for me to do would have been to just jump into Ken's camp, and I would have won. I would have been free, safe. But I became the poster child for the government, so everything was thrown at me, and I accepted it because For me, I believe that Dr. Bawumia was the best option for us at that time. And I still believe that it's still the best option for us going into the future. So this is what has transpired. And we've all learned our lessons from that. We are prepared. That's why I said we'll capture power in 2028. The mistakes that we have made, yes, we believe we've made mistakes.
But you still think that you are holding on to the seat? Because if Bright is still, you know, has not backed off yet.
Yes, AB, she's tried. I have to be honest. This is her third time running.
This is her third time, yes.
This time the odds were against MPP, but Tema Central is too strong an MPP seat that will let go, even if it is left with 5 votes. We'll fight to keep that 5 votes.
How do you mean?
But we won with 55. So yes, we might have won with 55 because if you look at the numbers, actually, Ebi only appreciated by 2,000 votes. What do you call it? Charles Forson dropped from 31,000, or MPP dropped from 31,000 to 18,000. If you look at that drop, there was a pattern prior to that. In 2020, out of 65,000 voters, 15,000 didn't turn up. And then in 2020, 2024, another 13,000 didn't turn up. If you put that together, it's 28,000. It's more than the votes that Ebi won. It's more than the votes that Charles Forson won. So there's a chunk of people who didn't even turn up in the first place. Why didn't they turn up? Who are they? Did they register for the ID card sake, or they registered to vote there, or they've moved out? Have they died? What is it? What is it that 28,000 people were not pushed to come and, were not moved to move from their homes to come and vote in the last election? So those are the dynamics that you have to look at. So Ebi didn't do so well. She only gained an extra 2,000 votes, which was in the trajectory of what she was getting in the past. In the past, she got from 13,000 to 16,000, now 18,000. So you can see that it's just a 2,000 appreciation. But we as MPP, and it was not just Tema Central, it was nationwide. The same trend, you could find the same trend nationwide. You can even juxtapose that trend to what happened in 2016 to the NDC. The NDC suffered the same fate, and then they build back up. It's just that this time the punch was heavier. Instead of 1 million difference, it's about a 2 million difference. So you have to understand the dynamics on the ground. There are real issues on the ground that, yes, as a constituency, we faced. There are also issues that we can blame the national party or the government at that time. But I believe that the time for blaming is over. We've gone past that stage. We put that behind us. And the NDC is 30 days in government already. And I think that we should be preparing to work hard and recapture power for 2028. I think that should be our focus at this stage, and not the nitty-gritties that are happening in the constituencies in Ablekuma North and Tema Central, going to court and all that. Whatever the decision is fine, but the most important thing is that we want to capture power, maintain our seat and capture power in 2028.
I see. I was looking at the exit poll. Since you say you don't know why, the demographics of holding in votes and why they didn't vote and all that. I was looking at the exit polls that came after Global Info Analytics had given us their predictions. Maybe you may want to take a look at it, because the outcome was also quite interesting on what people think, why they voted, and the swing.
My argument is that we had 68,000 voters in Tema Central. Out of that 68,000, 18,000 plus 18,000, that gives you 36. So if you take 36 out of the 68, it's about 32. So let's say, even if it was even an 80% turnout, 28,000 people didn't turn up. That alone is a winning margin. It's a whole constituency.
And you believe that 28,000
there must be a reason
are NPP supporters?
No, so naturally, if you compare our votes from last
in the trend.
Yes, because if those people had come out to vote, even let's use 2020 for example. 2020, it was 45,000 that came out to vote. That 45,000, 31,000 voted for me, and then 16,000 voted for Ebi. So if you take that out, there's about 13,000 difference, or 17,000 difference. Well, let's use 13,000. That 13,000 turned up to vote for NPP. This time, they didn't turn up at all. They also didn't turn up to vote for Ebi. Because if you had turned up to vote for Ebi, Ebi would have gotten 16 plus 13, which is 29,000. But they didn't turn up to vote for her as well. So where are those people?
Well,
who are they? So I've seen all the what do you call it, analysis that has been made by others, but I'm also
doing your own analysis.
Yeah, doing my own analysis.
You'd rather go with your own analysis.
Yeah, because I'm on the ground. I live there. This is the place I live. I go to
It's the same analysis you did.
Yes.
And it costed you these elections.
Well,
you didn't want to rely on any other polls but your own indoor polls.
No, that's not it. See, you also have to understand the constituency and the dynamics of the constituency, the sentiments of the constituency, the people in the constituency. My constituency is made up of two houses. We had Tema West and Tema East that came together. The cultures are even different.
Okay.
The cultures are even different. Even the kind of candidates that you put up, it gives you a certain vote from a certain area and the other vote from the other area. To invoke the people to vote from a certain area, I have a whole block that is purely Akan. You have to attend funerals, you have to attend Thanksgiving. Otherwise, those people will not come out to vote with you. So all those dynamics played a role. All those dynamics played a role.
And they played a role also in the polls conducted by others, by other professionals.
And that's fine.
Who are professional pollsters.
I'm not disputing their results. I'm just saying that there are so many factors. It's a scientific process, so we'll learn from each other and then move on from there.
Okay. Let me engage lawyer a bit. Lawyer, I don't know if you have a thing to say about, but in your Ashanti region as well, you have gone 3 times. What made you, back off?
Okay, so I contested in 2004. I was very young then. NDC was in opposition. I lost. I contested in 2012. In fact, it was the closest margin ever you can get in the history of Adansi Asokwa. And I contested in 2016 and lost. In all this dynamics, you realize that I am an indigene from Adansi. Katie Amon is a settler in Adansi. But we lost the seat in the 2000 elections when NDC was exerting power through.
Exactly.
Yes.
So same dynamics. The swing.
When exactly?
So when it swing to
when it's a particular wave that's blowing.
Exactly, that was the wave.
In fact, let me say the 8-year cycle.
Yeah.
It makes it
Yeah.
So, but the kind of work we did over in that period of years that I contested resulted in certain level of acceptance from the people on behalf of NDC. Now, Katie Amon lost because of, one, people were tired about his utterances, unguided utterances and other things. 2, he took some people for granted. 3, he thought that the candidate who has contested him has no pedigree to win the elections. So for that matter, he thought that it was a walkover and a done deal elections for him.
So he didn't put much.
In fact, if he had pulled whatever resources, you still have lost the elections because of some unguided utterances. The youth, he said the youth, when people are thinking, you don't think Mutikodu, coconut head, all those stuffs. People were fed up with it. So, and the reason why I did not contest again, because I had contested for the regional chairmanship position in Ashanti region and lost, and I've been given the legal director for the region. So it was a bigger role for the region because of the kind of hostilities that NDC faced in Ashanti region, being being the stronghold for the NPP. So we faced a lot of hostility. So we needed somebody with a strong fist to be able to deal with the legal issues that comes up.
So what did you pull this time in the Ashanti region?
Ashanti region, you see, when he was talking, he was talking about people not going to vote and other things. Apathy. Yes, apathies came in a little bit. But if you realize, one of the key issues NDC was talking about, that is our election directorate, led by the current defense minister, who I respect so much, who is very intelligent. He was fighting for a forensic audit of the register. We realize that there are so many things that in the register that we needed a forensic audit, but they rejected it. And the only thing that NDC could do to win this election was to be vigilant.
Okay.
And that vigilance paid off at the various police. Check Ashanti region.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I personally received a lot of videos about vigilance.
Yes.
From the Ashanti region.
We did so much vigilant. We had lawyers and other professional bodies, mining polling stations all over.
MFR Castle was placed in there.
MFR Castle was in Bantama. Honorable Marita Brew was in Shiaso. Gabwedi was in Askwa. So many professionals, so many lawyers. They were all there together to help make sure that things that are done during elections in Ashanti region will not repeat itself. And that is the reason why Ashanti region was able to record that kind of...
So you audited the register with your vigilance?
Exactly, that is exactly what we did. Because, you see, Jane Mensah told us that the elections are won at the police stations. And we decided to win the elections at the police stations.
So it wasn't Jane that said it was...
the courts.
Sorry?
The courts that said it.
No. The previous EC.
Farijan.
Farijan is the one.
But Jane repeated it and sounded it home to us.
But when Farijan said it, you didn't complain. You agreed.
No, you see, we agreed though. But you see, when we complain about certain things, especially Techimai South, when we won that in 2020, we won that parliamentary seat, but it was taken from us. We petitioned. She said that once the EC, the returning officer, has declared the elections, there's no way that she can collate the results and declare it again.
Because that's what the law says.
That's what the law says. So if you are not, if you are dissatisfied with the results, you can go to court. Now, when you go to Obuasi East constituency, that place, that constituency, it was collated and the results was declared. How come Jane Mensah Somoto, without any court order, without any order from anywhere, Somoto went and recollated that result without notice to the NDC and declared the result in favor of MPP? Is it not double standardness?
Are you looking at the double standard, or you're probably considering going to court as a lawyer?
We are in court.
And you are
we are in court. Three.
I've seen some videos.
Yeah, 3 constituencies in the Ashanti region. We are in court. That is Obuasi East. I have one North. That is Tepa, and I have one Southwest. That is Mankraso. We are in court challenging the results
and the declaration.
Sorry.
The declaration or the re-declaration?
You see, declaration was done in Obuasi East alone, but collation was not done in Hafano North and Hafano Southwest. Collation was not done at all. That is for the parliamentary. Hafano North, collation was not done for the presidential and parliamentary. So if you realize, on the 9th of December 2024, when Jane Mensah was announcing the results, he said that it was minus Hafano North, that is presidential. So at what point did they collate those results with a recourse to the NDC? Because you made the whole world understood that you could not. You did not give reasons why you could not. Because people have entered the coalition center, tax, parading themselves as military men, has entered the coalition center and destroyed the primary evidence that could be put together to get those results.
But that's what the NDC was doing in Greater Accra.
No, that is what the EC said. That is why they could not. And you see, fortunately for MDC, that was when we were able to get the phone of the returning officer.
The phone?
Yes.
The phone that had the communication.
Exactly. And when, luckily for us, there was no lock on the phone. And we chanced upon her communication with the MPP parliamentary candidate who is now illegally being declared as the MP-elect. And you realize that at a point, she called for the MP to bring the military in. And they destroyed everything. Now, at what point did Jane Mensah collate the results, and get that result for the MPP parliamentary candidate to be declared as the MP elect. Again, in Ahafo-Anonof, you see, when they were going for the Mandamu's application to compel the EC, they added Ahafo-Anonof. And Ahafo-Anonof was part of the decision of the High Court, which was upheld by the Supreme Court. Now, if you have an order of a court compelling you to do an act, the interested party in that game is supposed to be notified with the order. Yeah. They did not do anything of that sort. So when you go and collect that resource, so moto, that is where we have the problem, and that is where we are saying that whatever it was done illegally. When it comes to Ahafo Southwest and Obuasi East, there was no court order, because MPP, in their wisdom, when they went to court in relation to the Mandamu's application, they did not add Ahafo Southwest. They did not add Obuasi East. So, on what basis or with what order did the EC went back to recollate Obuasi East and collated Ahafo Southwest? All these questions need legitimate answers, and that is the reason why we are in court. Let me also bring to your attention this. When my brother was speaking about the dynamics of the elections and other things that has come up, go and check the records from 1996. The reason I start from 1996 is the fact that in the 1992 election,
there was no MPP in the party.
Since 1996 up till 2020 election, no presidential candidate of the NDC has won in Ahafo before. No presidential candidate of NDC has won in Ahafo Southwest before, when you check the records. But when they were collating the results, they collated the presidential one in Ahafo North, and President Mama won. And when you go to Ahafo Southwest, President Mama won.
It was the same thing in Tema Central.
You get it? So you see, when you look at those trends, that is where, when they realized things were not going in their favor, they were in power, they had control over some military elements, so they used some of the attacks and gave them military uniform, parading themselves as military. So they were, no, that is the truth. Go to Ahafo Southwest.
Can you prove that you saw military men with MPP men in military uniform?
My brother, this,
no.
You need proof.
Those are allegations.
No, you don't need proof of this. You don't need proof of this.
I mean, he's in courts, so he can provide all those evidence.
You don't need to provide any evidence. This one is for the general public.
No, you see, we have a lot of evidence to that effect.
You do?
As we are going to court,
you would have to prove it.
Yes, we will be able to prove those things in court for you to know that those thugs that were parading themselves as military.
Did they come to the police station?
Yes, they came to the police station. They were the people
who caused
that kind of mayhem.
But
when you were talking, I was quiet.
But he's a party person.
Oh, please.
When you were, you see,
when they were in,
Annie,
we saw them in uniform. We saw them in all kinds of things. We saw them in.
Annie, my judge.
What do you call it?
Judge, you are not doing your work well. Bring him to order. I kept quiet all this while he was making wild allegations.
I didn't make any wild allegations.
I kept quiet about Tema Central, saying that we did not win Tema Central. But you see, the court will overturn the verdict of Jane Mensah in Tema Central. And you see that indeed, you see, let me be sincere and honest with you. I've said it over and over. NDC is not in court in Ashanti region, the 3 constituencies, because we want the numbers. Because if the 2/3 numbers that we are talking about, we have it already. And this is unprecedented. It has never happened in this country before.
You don't have 2/3.
We have 2/3. We have 2/3.
We're together with your independents.
Are they not part of us?
Yes. They form a caucus with you. Doesn't mean that they'll go and vote for you.
No, we have a 2/3 majority.
Look, MPP had a majority the night before Speaker Bagwin's election.
No, you see,
you had what, 2/3?
No, we didn't have 2/3. I said we had a majority.
Majority.
Yes, still.
Okay.
Somebody voted against.
Of only one MP?
That's what I'm saying. So don't
So
assume
all that we are saying is that
all 183 are going to vote for you.
Honorable.
Allow him.
Honorable. You see,
go ahead.
When it comes to interjection and boosters,
I know.
Go ahead.
Continue. No, continue.
You see,
don't worry.
But at least it's Metro TV.
Don't worry.
Very big platform. So what I'm trying to say is the fact that by God's grace, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has the vast majority of members of Parliament in Parliament now. You can use the numbers to do so many things in the interest of the country, not our personal interests. But we need to let the right thing be done in these constituencies that we are talking about. In these constituencies that are in dispute, we need to get the right things to be done. So that the people, you see, when we're going to the 2024 elections, do you know the cry of Ghanaians? Because Ghanaians felt that in 2020 they voted for NDC. But unfortunately, NDC did not protect their votes. So in Ashanti region, they will tell you in Chi, Abandi by my, and that was the vigilance. Now, if you go to Obuasi East, even in the event that they recollated the result in our absence, they said the MP who won in 2020 by over 17,000 votes, won by 19 votes. Is it not ridiculous?
Even in your absence?
In our absence. They were in a hurry to do that. Because if you see, I have never seen an election being collected without the interested parties. Recollation, you don't write to us. You did not give us any notice to that effect. So all that we are saying is that we want the right thing to be done so that the people in these constituencies will know that indeed we protected their vote, it was stolen, we have gone to do the right thing by going to court and get the legal luminaries within this country and the judges to make a decision on that.
Okay, I'll give you a few minutes. Let's touch on the Eastern Regional interview I just had with the minister, and then we will take a break. When we come back, oral. So let me come to you.
Okay, that's fine. Well, it's rather unfortunate that in this 21st century, we would have communities where just basic access to schools becomes a problem. It's rather unfortunate because these are very, basic things that after 60 years of independence, we should be able to do for our people, or should have done for our people. How come? Because I have kids around the same age, and I'm just imagining my kids going to school and having to cross a river. If they don't know how to swim, what if they slip? What if they drown? It's really uncomfortable to even watch these videos. But that's the reality. But there are so many communities in Ghana facing similar problems. So many. You don't even have to go that far. Just go to parts of rural Accra, and you find so many communities in similar situations, just as you even made mention of in the Wager area. But I realized that we always look for a firefighting approach to solving problems, and rather not look at a comprehensive way of solving problems. Because I know that there was a program to build what they call check bridges. My constituency benefited from one of them. We lobbied for that through the Ministry of Roads, and we got one. So such programs, in fact, it was led during the MPP era. They did about 70 or 80 of them all over the country. A lot of MPs were able to lobby to get some in their communities. So we got one that links Tema Central now to Tema West through Klagon. There's a river there that has become, that links to the lagoon, the Sakumun Lagoon. So all these, I would say, solutions are readily available. But it also tells us that our town and country planning is very poor. Because if we had a very good town and country planning process, people would not be building or growing, communities would not be growing where we don't have infrastructure. Communities must grow with the infrastructure, or the infrastructure must come before the communities grow. How did that community grow? Maybe it was a village maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Did we plan that that village will now convert into a town or grow into a small city or a mini town, and therefore the population is growing, we're putting a school on the other side?
Development go beyond the river.
Exactly. I mean, when you go to Holland, every place is a river. Holland, everywhere. In fact, the country is below sea level.
Sea level.
Everywhere is a river. There's bridges everywhere. When you go to Hanoi, Vietnam, everywhere is a river. Many cities are built around rivers or close to rivers, and yet they've been able to build functional cities and towns based on science and technology, or based on information or proper planning, town and country planning. So, for me, I think that is where our focus should be. Proper planning. Yes, we do some of these things come up, and then we do social intervention. But is it sustainable? I realize you're trying to question the minister, whether it's sustainable in the long term. Because if you do it for community A and people see it, maybe the other communities around, people have phones today, they can just go take a video and come and show it. Yes, you show it. Are you going to do the same as you are doing for this community, for Wise and his brother? Or, I mean, I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
It is just like, it's not bad in itself, but that shouldn't be the focus. The focus should rather be proper planning and how we can solve these problems in the long term.
Right.
Using the military is not a bad idea. Many societies have developed working alongside their armies. Most often times in peacetime, the armies have not much to do. So you can engage them to do some of these things. When you go to South America, Chile and co., that's how they built a lot of their rural areas. They used their military. So the military did the highways, the roads, and sometimes it turns out to be cheaper because
and faster.
And faster because their structure and way of management is completely different. They are not profit oriented, so they are looking at how to solve that problem. And I think this bridge can be built by the military in a very short time. They built a lot of bridges around the country, and so this one shouldn't be a difficulty for them. And I believe that once we've seen this, we should also see them doing it for other communities. We can have a comprehensive program led by the army to build bridges all over the country or in such deprived communities, so that at least situations of this nature will not occur again.
Lawyer.
Annie, whilst having the discussion with
the minister,
I took the opportunity to do some background research on the whole thing. You see, there's one thing about the Ghanaian community now, or the Ghanaian citizenry now, that I'm happy. You see, initially we thought that when a constituency belongs, or MPP wins, or NDC wins a particular constituency for a long time, it is our bona fide, we have that right, bona fide property, so we can do whatever you want to do in those constituencies. If you look at 2020 elections, Frederick Obin Adam won in Upper West Achim for MPP.
And the first time he has won, we had won that seat.
And Charles Achampong also won for MPP in 2020 elections. In my mind, I'm of the opinion that that problem that we see over there has been there for some time, and they've been complaining and they've been ignored.
Yeah, that's what she actually said.
Yes. And for that matter, they decided to punish whoever is responsible within that constituency. What I'm saying today is an unfortunate situation. Do not let we, the politicians, take the people of this country for granted, by the virtue of the fact that we think that this is our safe seat, or people will vote for us no matter the situation. So I am charging our MPs, that is Emmanuel Dra and Owen, in these two constituencies, and all the MPs that have been lucky to have been elected by the people of Ghana to represent them in the various constituencies, especially our people in the NDC, that we need to work to satisfy the people. We cannot do everything.
Sure.
But when you are doing your best, the people will appreciate what you have done. For the military intervention being led by the Minister for Defense, I am not surprised. I told you, Dr. Omanibuama is somebody I respect so much, very intelligent, very hardworking, and is somebody who understands the responsibility given to him. Because when he was being given the election director in NDC, so many people did not understand why a medical doctor should be given an IT and election directorate staff. But trust me, arguably, he is the best election director we've had so far, looking at the things that he put in place for the 2024 elections. And going forward, I believe, my brother was saying that they are putting themselves together for the people of Ghana to vote for them in 2028. It's not possible though, but it's visible.
Definitely.
Yes, it's not possible though, but it's visible.
It's very possible.
So all that I'm also charging all those appointees that President Mahama has given them that opportunity to serve Ghana, we need to be submissive, we need to be hardworking, we need to be humble and respectful to the people. If you realize arrogance and a lot of things cumulated to the defeat of MPP. And we need not to make that mistake. And again, we need not to do politics of equalization for the fact that we say that, oh, when MPP were in power, they were doing this and that. That is why we have
But you know you're doing that already. Some of your members have already started doing
President
that.
Mahama has warned everybody that is the basis and reason why we have been voted into power to work and fix the problems. So if you come and do politics of equalization, then trust me, yesterday I was thinking about something. I said that in politics, if you don't take care, the day you are sworn into office is the day you decided to go back to opposition. The very day. Because of your decision, actions and inactions. And it will be determinant on what you do to the people. So I plead with everybody, especially our MPs in these areas and those areas that have different problems related or similar to this problem that our people in Upper West Achim are facing. Don't go and say that when your people or the former MP was there, he did not do for you. I just came, and now why do you expect me to do this? No, that would not be enough explanation to fix the problem. Fix the problem. That's why you have been given that mandate to fix the problem. So I'm charging.
But you know Emmanuel Dra properly. Properly. Do you know him well?
No, I don't. I don't know him personally. But from here, I would contact him and speak with him. And once Minister for Defense is a very good friend and is a listening minister, I also contact him. But I know that once he has taken charge, he will make sure that he will deliver. But there may be similar problems all over. We need to do our best to fix those problems for the benefits of the country.
I just wanted to add something to what my senior was saying. See, it's a problem of local governance. And we always shift the blame. The MP's core mandate is to be a legislator.
My mind went there, but I didn't want to drag that debate as well.
Because he was hammering on the MP. I listened to the minister, and the minister was also saying that, oh, the MPs were helping. Their core responsibility, in quotes, is not this.
Yes.
This is the core responsibility. If I may finish.
This is becoming a debate where we're now getting into the developmental changes, where an MP has almost become part of the development process.
Because the people elect the MP, I don't have a problem with that. It is a holistic problem that we have to deal with, political education and all that. But I just want to put on the record, or just to let him understand from that perspective, because I've been there before, where people think that the MP's responsibility, we've equated the MP to a chief, or we've taken the idea of chieftaincy or a chief to our idea of a politician. They are two completely different things, or two separate roles. So you would see governance issues that are squarely within the space of a DCE or an MCE that are being shifted into the space of the MP, which the MP has absolutely no control or may not have the capacity to deal with. The best he can do is to advocate for it, or speak about it, or create awareness on it. But to actually take a decision on getting, let's say, a bridge done, it cannot be done by the MP. I'm not holding brief for my colleagues who have lost their seats. But I know they put in their best. However, if we keep moving the responsibility of the DC to the MP, that is where the problem begins. Because I can assure you that 90% of the problems that the people of Ghana will take before your MPs, including NDC MPs who have won their seats for the first time, are not responsibilities that they can ever manage or handle. The best they can do is to tell them that, oh, we'll try and work on it and try and work on it. But the reality is that they don't have the keys of development or the keys of governance to be able to take control of that. So don't let us shift that responsibility. It is squarely within the space of the DC. That's why some of us were advocating that
in this
DCs
case,
should be elected.
Speaking with the minister, she indicated that she didn't know the name of the assembly.
No, she's new.
She's
just been there for 5 days.
No, you see,
I'm coming. Currently, we have not elected or appointed our DCs.
You see,
so we have the coordinating directors
there's a
who
channel,
are in charge.
You see, let me say something. I've contested 3 times as a member of parliament, even though I was not lucky. But let's ask ourselves. Let's be realistic in this. When you go to the constituents, what do you tell them to vote for you?
We campaign on those.
You campaign on those issues. And when you campaign on those issues, yes, we know, you know, that you are not directly in charge in fixing those problems, but you advocate for them. But once you know it is within your constituency and you need to work towards it, you need to work hard in relation to get those problems solved. If it is not coming, you need to do a community engagement with the people down there.
You do an engagement with the people.
And tell them, but ask.
But that's
how you have access to the district assembly.
Exactly.
You cannot necessarily disassociate yourself.
From those things.
So
I understand
I'm of the view that even MPs should not be given that district assembly's common fund. We shouldn't
unfortunately.
I am of that view, and I'm not alone, because when you've been in there before, you know that it cannot solve even this bridge problem.
Yeah, but okay.
It cannot solve this bridge problem. That's number one. Even the district common fund, we have things that have been we are earmarked to do. It's not everything that you can use the money for. Even having access to the money. You know, so, let me give you an example. 2021, our DCEs came into power in September. From January to September, I had to just do community engagements or waiting for the DCE because there's nothing you could do for the community. You don't have access to any funds, nothing. So that idea, the way we have we borrowed this system of governance from somewhere. Our people also believe in a certain system of governance, or have been brought up in a certain system of governance, and we are trying to merge the two. Unfortunately, we are trying to create a special kind of MP in Ghana who is like a demigod, who must answer all questions, must know everything, just like the way we expect a chief to behave. When you become a chief, you are a demigod. So that is the relationship between the people and their political elite, and especially when they've gone out to vote for you. So people vote for you and they expect you to solve their personal problems, not even community problems, personal problems.
Yeah.
All I'm just trying to drive at is that we have created a certain layer of governance called the district assembly, local government structures, that we must make sure that they work.
Okay. Let me take Julius Nikwe-Kote, aka Lucas.
Yeah, he's
our new DVLA boss.
No, he's a brother.
Oh, he's your brother.
Yeah, no, not
like.
But he's closer.
Very close. You see, so many people don't know Lucas. In 2015, Lucas was in my constituency in Adansiasokwa with the diplomat platform team to campaign for me. He's worked so hard in NDC. It's a good friend.
Been campaigning since
yes.
I knew him.
Yes.
So he's watching. He says that he's giving you assurance. We shall lead with humility and respect. Julius Lucas, I salute Lawyer Evans. So this one is directly to you.
Thank you.
That's why I read it directly to you. So our new DVLA boss, good morning to you. Thank you so much for, doing the watching. We'll be coming into your office. We've seen that you're making some moves on Okada. I have my own reservations
about Okada.
Yes.
Wow.
If you drive in the street.
It was the one policy of your policy I didn't like.
Why?
Because of obvious reasons.
No, it's...
You know why? Because I know that if you legalize, you have to create a system. But my fear was because we don't have the system created to accommodate Okada, and we already are struggling with the little road we have. I'm wondering how that is going to be very easy to
implement?
No, to regulate.
Go to Vietnam. They have been running Okada for maybe hundreds of, maybe 20, 30 years or 40 years.
Have you seen how the riders behave on the road?
It is because...
In Vietnam.
Not just Vietnam, even Benin and Togo. You see them. It is because the riders are not trained, number one. You can train the riders. You can train them to be good road users. We are not training motorcyclists like we do for cars.
Yes.
In Ghana, people learn how to ride a bicycle and graduate from bicycle to motorbike. I even see 13-year-olds riding motorbike. And I see policemen sitting behind them. Policemen stopping them and sitting behind them.
And another one observation is they ride in the medians of the cars.
So we have...
And legally, you're not supposed to be in between the cars. But they will be in between, and then they will be horning at you.
Because we don't train them to be riders. So you can train people to be riders. You can have a law that says that you have to be a trained rider. And then you can be a trained commercial motorcyclist. Okay, so it's the regulation that you put in place. For me, I wouldn't say that I was against that policy. No, I wasn't against that policy.
No, I had my reservations. I cannot just be against. I've
seen in other jurisdictions where other vehicles share the road with cars. Okay, you go to some places, they have even rickshaws. It's environmentally friendly, whatever you might call it, but they are safe. They are economically cheaper. They are environmentally friendly. They don't pollute. So I've seen those ones in Southeast Asia, South Asia, and they've even graduated to the motorbike ones. They have them. Okay. So all I'm just trying to drive at is that we have to train the riders, number one, because it creates a lot of jobs. There are many places in Ghana where from the main road to the towns, there's no accessibility. No car can go there.
So it is the motor.
So it's the motor rider that goes there. But health and safety, wear your helmet, wear your boots, have a spare helmet for the one behind you. There's even an app that was created by one guy, Okada app in Nigeria, that works very, very well. I mean, it's one of the
just like the online
just like
riders.
The Uber and Co.
Oh,
so this is not even for cargo, it's for passenger. So it's not for parcels, but for passengers. It works in Nigeria. So I don't see why we cannot implement that in Ghana. We have to look for the best practices around the world and then implement it. So for me, I really don't have a problem with it. I think that it will create a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunity for a lot of other people who are already in that space.
Yeah.
After all, if I'm not exaggerating, we have more than maybe 1 million Okada riders in Ghana already. But they are all outside the law. So create a regulation.
So Lawyer Evans, would that mean that these more than 1 million youth already riding, we'll have to bring them back? I'm sure Logas is watching. Advice, bring them back, train them, and put them back into the system.
There's something that I've noticed about the society of ours. Is the fact that there are certain things that are not legalized, but people will do it illegally. So why don't you regulate those activities so that they'll be streamlined and be guided by laws, by regulations? Because you see, we don't have any law regulating or otherwise doing anything when it comes to Okada. So they do whatever they want to do. And trust me, if you go to our hospitals today, incidents and accidents within our routes are mostly by Okada riders because they think they can do anything.
They don't know the rules of riding.
They don't know the rules of their engagement even within they don't have any idea about road usage. They will be trafficating to the left and they will be going to the right. They will mistakenly trafficate and they don't have any idea even what the trafficator means.
One hit my mirror yesterday and he just still kept riding and he gave me his left hand, sorry.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
So if you see, and you know, one funny thing, In 20, I've stayed in Accra all my life. But that's where I built my first house at New Wager, where I was staying before. This time I'm mostly in Kumasi, because of
your responsibilities.
Yeah, because of my responsibilities and others. I was going to court. My office, my main law firm is at La Paz, so I was going to court from my house. I had to pass through the office. The traffic at Sotium connection there had given me the opportunity to move. That is the green. I was a bit on top, not too much of speed. An Okada guy, sensing that maybe there's no car coming, has to cross, and I hit him. In fact, in my entire driving, I've never hit somebody with my car before. I was traumatized the whole day. I had to take care of him and those, but it was his fault. But as a human being, can you leave him on this? In fact, the police wanted to arrest him because when he got up, he wanted to run away. But I said, no, don't go. Police, I'm a lawyer. At least I was dressed going to court. So let me take care of him, make sure that he's fine. Yes, he faulted by crossing the red light. So if you regulate their activities
and train
them, they won't cross red lights. They will not be in a hurry to flout the rules and regulations on our roads. So I agree with my brother that we need to regulate them. Logos, big ups to you. Let's regulate it.
So our new deliverables, Logos New Quakote says that we have the Rwandan model to study from.
Okay.
The parties involved would have a trip to Rwanda to understudy their project. We shall take them through training and streamline their activities. No fear, is going to be a 24-hour training. And this is where our 24-hour economy starts from the DVLA. Now, their number plates and everything will be unique. The project is big and Ghanaians will be happy. We can't wait. We can't wait. Well, on that note, let's just take a quick breather. We'll be back shortly and then we'll get into oral.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bready poor mattress anymore? Don some slippers, then follow me.
It is part of the mattress we did the front there.
Yeah?
Happiness mattress where the dead go.
Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all.
Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like ash foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
Customer. I don't know who to say.
Malaria been actually on my number still.
One of them give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. What rest of us give us here and don't come down.
What's over that song? But tomato give us the and some down.
Give us about me, sir.
If I try the and some down.
Customer. Give us a total now.
Onuya kayo oba wa fa furo nom de o ma no bonu fo nom akwada wa ni mfie dumie no ono nso nom.
This is Coastal Park,
A well-demarcated gated community carved out to host your residential and commercial properties. With a minimum of 40,000 Ghana cedis, you too can own a piece of this serene site.
It's just 50 minutes drive from the Central University College, as well as just some 5 minutes drive from the Ningo Senior High School. More so, just in case you live somewhere in Adam and you want to take that excursion to many of those areas along the Volta estuary, this is the right property for you to invest in.
Great news from Estate Masters Limited. We're running a 10% discount promo on all sites to celebrate our 10th anniversary. Join in the celebration by becoming an Estate Master. Enjoy benefits such as free site visits throughout the duration, free indenture, and free site plan. Contact us for more information. Remember, T's and C's apply. Estate Masters Limited, your most preferred estate partner.
You're the answer to my prayer. You're with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know tonight.
Right. You're welcome back. You're welcome back to the program. We're still on Good Morning Ghana. We're getting into the areas of oral, and I'm still in the studio with Evan Samankwa Esquire, and he's also chairman of the Ashanti Regional NDC legal team and former Adansi Asokwa parliamentary candidate as well, and former MP for Tema Central is also here, Honorable Yves Hansen Norte. But with the Oral, quite some updates. Let me read a few that Metro TV has gathered the stories. Oral will hold Ayeni accountable. Kwebu, Martin Kwebu, a member of the Oral Recover All Loot team, has pledged to ensure that Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayeni takes action on the petitions received by the team on Monday, February 10, 2025. The Oral team presented its report to President John Dramani Mahama. The president subsequently handed the report to Dr. Ayeni, directing him to conduct immediate investigation into the cases outlined. Kwebu stressed the need for the thorough probe into the complaints submitted by the public, emphasizing the significance of holding officials accountable. Now, Domelevo also says that the former Attorney General and a member of the Operation Recover All Loot, Domelevo, has called for proper checks on persons occupying public offices, emphasizing the need to curb the misuse of government resources and enforce consequences of misconduct. Mr. Domelevo, in an interview shortly after the committee chaired by Samuel Ekudzeto Ablakwa presented its report to the President John Dramani Mahama, expressed deep concerns over the blatant abuse of power by officials entrusted with managing public funds and properties. Quote, "What shocked me the most was the extreme abuse of public office, where you are a custodian of public funds and use it for yourself, or are supposed to keep custody of government property and land, and you allocate it to yourself or your cronies," he stated. Domelevo lamented lack of consequences for such behaviors, which he believes has fueled a culture of impunity in governance. So, what did the president also say? President John Dramani Mahama says Ghana is no longer a safe haven for those who defraud the state. Speaking at the presentation of the Operation Recover All Loot team reports in Accra on Monday, President John Dramani Mahama assured Ghanaians that the fight against corruption will continue with renewed vigor. Quote, "As we receive this report, let me assure Ghanaian people that the work does not end here. The recommendations of the report will be carefully studied, and where legal actions and investigations are needed, they will be pursued without fear or favor. Every peswa recovered will be channeled back into the national development mechanism. The mechanisms will be strengthened to prevent such losses in the future." What did the chairman of the committee say? Ablakwa. Samuel Ekudzeto Ablakwa, former chairman of the Operation Recover All Loot Oral and foreign affairs minister. He took office yesterday. Congratulations. We wish you all the best, and we'll be monitoring your office as well. Has President John Dramani Mahama's intervention in establishing Oral, describing it as a masterstroke that has proven its relevance and timeliness. Ablakwa highlighted the significant impact of Oral's work, emphasizing the overwhelming response from the public through the various communications. So we've received 1,493 calls through the toll-free line. We also have received 924 emails. Fortunately, all of these calls are recorded automatically, and all the emails have also been reserved for verification and validation. So in total, the number of complaints received amounts to 2,417. Ablakwa disclosed while presenting the oral team's report to President John Dramani Mahama in Accra Monday, February 10, 2025. He stressed that the substantial number of complaints serves as a clear evidence of Oral's critical role in addressing public concerns. Ablakwa asserted that the president's decision to establish Oral has been vindicated by the tangible results received. So, those who had any doubts about how relevant and how timely the president's intervention was at the time, this is your evidence. President Mahama has been vindicated. Okay. So, let's get into the studio. Various updates from various stakeholders of our Oral team, and of course the one who also set it up. Yes, it's your side that have come up with so many complaints. I remember when it was captured that the NDC was going to bring back the public tribunal. It came up that you're going to use the public tribunal as a way of harassing, as you did before under the PNDC and all that. So I am not sure where the linkage came from with oral and the public tribunal. Tribunals, and then this is where we are today. The reports have been presented. Your complaints did not deter the oral team from working.
For me, anything that would fight corruption, I support it. Whatever shape or form it takes, insofar as it is legal, it falls within the confines of the law. I think we have enough tools to fight corruption in Ghana. We have YOCO, we have CID, we have NIB. These are all very good institutions. We have the Auditor General's reports that we get year on year. So there are so many tools to fight corruption. But corruption in Ghana is, I would even say, there's a directly proportional to the cost of politics in Ghana. Many of the things that you see or that we end up as political corruption cases are things that, from where I sit and the little experience I've had, well, of course, that were incurred because political parties or politicians needed resources to go and do the things that we call politics in Ghana. Politicking, campaigning, and all that. There's always a trend. When we are getting closer to elections, you hear of galamsey on the rise. When we're getting closer to elections, you hear of fertilizer smuggling. When we're getting closer to elections, you hear of cocoa smuggling, gold smuggling. It's all within the same space because people want to find resources, or political parties want to find resources to run such expensive campaigns that we see. One of the things that would help us solve this problem, and not just maybe oral or ocal, as some people call it, whatever it is, would be to have a political parties funding act so that we can trace the sources of funding for our politics. When somebody enters public office and all of a sudden becomes a rich man, and all of a sudden is flying first class, all of a sudden is going on holiday. You can be going on holiday, yes, fine, but maybe you're going on holiday every 3 months with your family, or flying business class with your whole family, or first class with your whole family. I'm not saying if you can afford it, generally it's a bad thing, no. But you see somebody enter public service and all of a sudden is building a 5-bedroom mansion in your neighborhood. All these things should raise eyebrows. But in our society, those are the people that we praise. So there is no incentive to stop people from taking public funds. That's number one. Oral, for me, I see it as part of the politics of governance. That we promise that we're going to go after people who have looted from the state and all that. So we are fulfilling that promise. Fine, I don't have a problem with it. But I sincerely believe that we had all the tools that could have helped us to achieve that without necessarily creating oral and all its illegalities or legalities. For me, I don't want to go into those details, but the substance of my submission is that at the end of the day, the people of Ghana must be the beneficiaries of whatever oral does in terms of recouping our resources, whether they were stolen, we were not stolen, whether we can prove them, we cannot prove them. At the end of the day, the people of Ghana must get their resources back because the scandals are becoming too many.
Under
Government after government. No, government after government. You can start from even Kwame Nkrumah's government. Golden Beds and all that. Rollins with all this accountability and probity. There were corruption cases. Kufuor's government, Atanos's government, John Mahama's government, the Kufuor's government. So, and it's like the proportion keeps increasing. We hear of large, I mean, $20 billion is not a small money, if that is true. But $20 billion, then we don't need to go to IMF. We need to just go and look for these monies and recoup them. And we can run the country because these resources are with people. Even recouping them will not be easy. Assuming that all this is even true. I want to use an example that we have in West Africa, in Nigeria, Abacha and all the loot that was supposedly stolen and sent to the Switzerland, how did the Swiss government treat that loot? It's taken over 20, 30 years to recoup just $5 million or $3 million here and there, when we are told that the loot was over $5 billion. That $5 billion then is today about $20 billion. So it's within that same range. Even if it is true, recouping the money itself is not going to be an easy task. But I think that the Attorney General has a yeoman's task to be able to recoup that money. We should rather focus on how we prevent future occurrences. I also believe that we should be looking at that, how we prevent future occurrences, and how we strengthen our institutions so that individuals will not have even the thought of dipping their hands into the public coffers. It's as if there's no punishment for it. It's as if nobody will be chastised for it. And there's no moral authority, really and truly. Even the oral team itself, where lies their moral authority? These things happen similar things happened under John Mohammed's regime, the first regime. Where were they? Maybe Domlovo was a loud one. He was very vociferous, and whether even whilst in power and out of power. But the others, some of them turned up when MPP came into power. I hope they will continue. I believe that if you carve a path for yourself in public life, especially as an anti-corruption person, you should also have a certain moral authority and stance that, come what may, you would also stand firm and be able to protect the public purse. And these are even the big ones that we know of, or the ones that have come into public light. There are so many small ones that we never get to know, because sometimes our political leaders say that Ghanaians are magicians. How do Ghanaians feed at home? I mean, if you look at our paltry salaries and our paltry incomes, but people earn 3,000 cedis, yet live lives of 30,000 Ghana cedis a month. So there are so many questions that we need to ask. There are so many questions that we need to ask ourselves. I remember one politician saying that we pretend to pay the people and the people pretend to work. Why will we pretend to pay the people so that people pretend to work? It's because we don't pay them well. Maybe it's one of the reasons why people would dip their hands into the public office. But for me, oral, I know that they brought their work to a close. They've handed over their files to the Attorney General and to the President. The President has instructed the Attorney General to go ahead and look beyond it. Ayeni, I met him in Parliament, in the 8th Parliament. He's a very fantastic lawyer and a brain. I know that he'll do what is right. And then we'll take it from there. We wait to see what comes out of it. But
he has already started receiving criticisms about cases that he's decided to discontinue.
Exactly. I was going to go to those ones. You see, yes, even though it lies within his purview to do so per the law, he can educate us better on that. Not it lies within his purview to do so. I think that it's too early, or not just say it's too early. It looks too political.
Political.
Yes, it looks too political. That in 1 month we've cleared all these. Let me use the phrase political trials in quotes. I'm just using that phrase so that just for this debate's sake, these political trials. But really and truly, can you tell me that a project that is supposed to cost the people of Ghana, let's use the Saglemi project, $450 million, or it's a $250 million project for 500,000 houses, or whatever it is. The job that was done by that outfit, the ministry, they spent the money without the properties being built, or the properties partially being built. We need to account for those properties that were not built. We need to account for that money that was spent. How do we account for that money today when the court process has been truncated, or wherever it's got into. Some will say that you had 8 years to finish it. Yes, but even if it's 8 years, what was the conclusion? Are we coming to do we have any reports to tell us what transpired, what has taken place, how are you going to recoup the money that was spent? We need to know. So I don't want to sound too political this morning, and I'm trying to tread a very, what do you call it, neutral path, because I don't have all the facts before me.
Yeah.
So we firstly, whoever is in charge of oral and its appointees have done their best. We just wait to get the report and then know what to do with it.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. I want, because I made reference to the clearing of cases. I've seen in the Daily Post, Kwekwaza spoke on it.
Yes, he said that it's taken 8 years.
Yes, he says justice, not endless trials. Kwekwaza speaks on dropped prosecution cases because, of course, I'm one person who's always said that if you're a government and you're not able to prosecute your own people, then there's no really justification going after others. But maybe if you have some legal backing to that too, we can go with it. But he says that renowned legal scholar, okay, the story says that renowned legal scholar and governance advocate, Professor Stephen Kwekwaza, aka Kwekwaza, has waded into the recent decision to discontinue prosecutions involving 7 pro-NDC figures. In a thought-provoking commentary, he challenged the discourse surrounding the cases, arguing that justice should not be confused with prolonged, inconclusive trials. Quote, each of these cases has been in the judicial system for at least 7 years. He pointed out, questioning whether prosecution that drag on for nearly a decade without conviction serve a cause for justice. If the case has been in court for nearly a decade without a conviction, it is reasonable to ask whether the evidence was ever strong enough to meet the legal threshold. I'll leave it here.
Interestingly, that is exactly where I was going to. And you've read it. So, but let's put it on record. It is President John Mahama and the late President Rawlings. In their regimes alone, they were able to prosecute their officers in government.
Akufo did the same.
Who?
With the sports minister.
Oh, the sports minister, was he a
but he was in his government.
Was he a proper MP?
He was in his government.
Let's see.
Wait, which sports minister are we talking about?
Malamisa.
Malamisa.
Oh, Malamisa's situation.
You see, we don't.
Was Malamisa not in the
don't go there.
He was in the government.
But why are you saying he was not a proper MPP?
Oh, but Malamisa.
He was in government.
He was in government.
He was in government, but he was coming from somewhere. Yeah, he wasn't an MPP.
Yeah.
He knows that.
So you're saying that he was coming from somewhere, so he was just used as a sacrifice.
As a scapegoat.
No.
From that end.
He was a member of
Look at the kind of...
So he wouldn't have been dealt with if he were your core NPP.
Exactly. They don't have that track record.
That's not true.
So when they are talking about corruption and dealing with your own, MPP does not have that moral turpitude to talk about that. John Mahama, His Excellency, in his time as a president, prosecuted Abu Ghapele. His own. They are all coming from the northern part of this country. He did that. But what do we see today? So when we are talking about somebody doing something in relation to corruption and allowing it to just go or put it under the carpet, then I don't get it. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is a different person altogether when it comes to corruption. And I know that anybody in this government or any appointee in this government will be dealt with if that person finds himself in a situation where we get to that arena. You see, my dear, when you talk about Ora, you see, Ora was not just a dream or something that was done or instituted because of political witch hunt. No. During the campaigning, in the 2024 elections, everywhere John Mahama visited, the people were complaining about the loot in the system. NPP appointees, some of them, not all of them, did a lot of things. The opulence alone was too much. It was too clear for the people to see. Because some people who were nowhere, within a short time, started building mansions, started riding in cars that you don't estimate ordinarily that they will be able to purchase same. It is within the same time that under Nana Addo Dankwa-Akufo-Addo, who could found a certain minister of state, his house, over $1 million in your house. This has never happened anywhere before. It was within the same period that boxes of money was being packed in a house, and somebody who was a PA to a CEO was jubilating with those dollars and monies. I mean, that kind of opulence and impudence gave the Ghanaian populace the reason to tell President John Dramani Mahama that, you see, we are going to vote for you because the opulence is too much. But when you come, how do we get those monies, those properties that belongs to the state that has been stolen? If you go to Kumasi,
I think stolen should be too strong a word for now.
Sorry?
Stolen should be too strong a word for
Allegedly.
Stolen. Oh, my dear. Is it not? If it, I'm not. I've been magnanimous when I.
Oh,
of course.
Lawyer. You have been
So,
magnanimous?
When I say.
No. Nobody has stolen money yet.
No,
I don't know that yet.
I should have used the word robbed, but I do not use robbed. I said stolen. The state has been robbed, though. Seriously.
Allegedly.
No. You see, we will get to that point. I understand where you are coming from.
No, I'm trying to learn from you.
Yes, but
the state has been robbed, allegedly.
No, but look at the state itself now.
I mean, you have. That's why oral is working.
Exactly. So when you see, when something has been stolen from you, you see in the full glare of it that, oh, this thing has been stolen. But we will say allegedly. But at least me, that the thing has been stolen from me, I will say that I have been robbed, has been stolen from me. So I am not a spectator. I am a citizen. So I have been robbed. The state have been robbed. We have been robbed. Things have been stolen from us. So look, with this opulence and plain vague of display of things that has been taken from the state and nothing been done. Because you see, when
lands,
you see, lands, when you go to Boteman, you see, he himself is saying something. I like the way we are conducting, because we are citizens, not spectators.
I wanted to say something to you, but I refuse to say it.
If you go to Kumasi, the same thing over there. Government land.
There's various issues about Ramsar site, Ashaman. I mean, I have a gentleman who's always every morning sending messages.
It's so terrible.
Ramsar site, Ashaman. The lands are just Sakumono area.
Yes. You get it. And if the people who you came before had done that, would there be any land left for the development of this country?
What even bothers me is the indigenous people.
You get it?
The indigenous people,
of the area,
let's say,
where the lands are being
because those
taken.
lands, they belong to people in Nungwa and La, and people are just going for them, you know.
So you think that there's justification for this oral work?
Not.
Yes.
We didn't need to create another structure to do that. We could have used existing structures to do it. You could have used Yoko.
Where I disagree with you. ORA is a project. It's a project that's supposed to be done and do away with, because we had so many reports during the campaign period. President Mahama promised the people of Ghana that I'm going to investigate this and I will name it Operation Recover All Loot. So he gave it to some people that received those reports, because the Attorney General's office is burdened with a lot of issues. They may not have that kind of time
You can deal with it. NIV can deal with it.
But at least ORA did not cost the
So
state.
that's why I say
it did not cost the state a dime.
So this what Ahmed Seidu thinks about Malam Issa. He said that Malam Issa was PNP member who, yes, he was PNP, who was lured to Kufuor's government and framed for corruption.
So
I mean, that story has been there.
Yes, I'm justified. So as I was saying, so ORA
was he in the government? He was a member of the government.
ORA is a tool.
Yes, but he's telling you what.
ORA is a tool.
Was he in the government? Yes or no? Yes,
to,
he's in the government.
To the investigation aspect of unveiling a lot of corruption that has taken place. And if you look at the work that ORA has done, the prosecution that will be going on, because the Attorney General, as a lawyer, the Attorney General will sit and look at the merits of those cases. And the merits of those cases will determine the next line of action. So, in fulfillment of a campaign promise,
yes. So
that project needed to be done for the people of Ghana to be satisfied. But not, you see, we did not jump the gun by just taking people to court without
start prosecution.
Start prosecution.
And that would have been the work of the existing institutions.
So that is
They start calling you and start
yes,
prosecution.
that is why.
So that would have given a picture of witch hunting.
Exactly. No. So let's collect, receive those reports. Let's put them together. Let us do certain background investigations about those things that you are talking about, if indeed hold some water. And that is the work of ORA. They have done that. They have submitted same to the president.
And,
so basically,
and
ORA
also,
was collecting
apart from what
stories.
we know Ablakwa was doing as member of parliament, they now set up a preparatory team and opened the door that Ghanaians join. So, Honorable, do you get it? I mean, the picture is that everybody who was interested and had information will be a part of this whole preparatory activity.
When we're in office, I told him something about a call I received personally about a minister of state in their government who had sent so much money into his house. The houseboy packed those monies into the house, but he was not given a dime. So he got angry and made some calls. You get it?
Who was this minister?
So the ordinary Ghanaian, the people in MPP were so much angry that they were ready to volunteer information, critical information.
You can't hear my question.
What's the time? What is the time now? 9:49. 9:49. In fact, when it is 9:49,
you mentioned the name.
No, when it is 9:49, I can't hear a female's voice. So interestingly, the people living in MPP were so much annoyed about the conduct of their own people. And for that matter, they were willing and ready to volunteer information to that effect.
So they volunteer the same information to...
You see, sometimes, let me be honest with you, sometimes, personally, if I'm going to the ministry to have a discussion with a minister, you get there and you can sit there for an hour or two because of busy schedule. You get it? And when you don't have so much to do, if I'm there to volunteer information and I'm to sit there for an hour or two to volunteer that information, do you think I will be able to have that kind of patience and wait? I will not be able to do that. So the project that was instituted by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, that is the ORA, to collect those information and receive those information. It is in order. Now, you see, procedure has been followed. President commissioned the project.
He commissioned when he was not president.
He said when he was the president-elect.
But he was not president.
But he was the president-elect.
But it's a project.
It's a project. So he did not put any legal back into it. It was a project that he was doing. And he has the right to do that project. And when he became the president, he has received the information. He has a minister of state in charge of justice. That's Dr. Aini. He has handed over the processes to them. You see, it's unlike the witch hunt that your government did. We don't want to repeat things that has happened in the future. That was why I was so worried when we took over power. There were things that were happening about people chasing other people. Because what was done to me, I was not happy with it. At that time, my Land Cruiser that I was driving, I had never held any public office before. That I was driving my Land Cruiser, I've used it in 2016 elections, gone to campaign with it, and I had put it for body works and street. I was there when I was told that national security in Kumasi has taken has come for my Land Cruiser. They called me that they came to the car and they said, where was the car coming from? So I went there and asked them, do you know me?
You know the job I do.
You know the job I do. So you think as a lawyer I can't afford to buy a Land Cruiser? That is an insult to my intelligent personality. At least you are a national security personnel. You should have checked the chassis number of the car and find out, cross-check, and find out if it is indeed a state car before you took over that car. You didn't do that because somebody.
Small harassment.
Is that
political harassment?
You see, political harassment. I was not happy about what happened, even though with my documents I got my car back, but I was not happy. Because at that time, after elections, I was not feeling too well. We've lost presidency. I've lost my elections. Sitting in my village thinking about myself. My son will tell you, Daddy, I was sitting somewhere. Sitting somewhere thinking about myself. My car being at the mechanic shop, being confiscated by some good-for-nothing so-called regional security something.
You can't say that.
Because if you are good enough, my brother, if you are good enough, you do due diligence when it comes. I've been telling people.
No.
Because you see, when you go and chase after somebody's car.
Before you see the cars.
Before you see the car.
Don't say that.
When you see the car, you see, my brother, when you see a car, you see, it's very simple. My brother Logas will tell you, look for car number. Call Logas right now to cross-check who is the owner of this car. They will tell you. So you don't just go about seizing cars. It is never done. So if you are not good for nothing, you will not do that. You get where I'm coming from. So when these things happened, it creates kind of tensions in the country, and it's not good for the country. So President Mahama commissioning ORA, making sure that they deliver their work is in order. And all that I pray is that I don't want us to go to court on cases that will spend so much time. Frivolous cases. No. I know Dr. Aini, and I believe in his integrity so much.
Oh, yeah.
But personally, let me be sincere and honest to everybody. When Dr. Aini was appointed as the Attorney General, you know, me as a grassroots person and my reservations, I did not want to put the heart of a lawyer on. I wanted to put the heart of a foot soldier. Dr. Aini, the person who want you getting people put behind bars, and others, he will not do it. You go by the procedure and make sure that things are done rightly. But me, I was looking for somebody, at that time I had forgotten myself that I'm a lawyer. I was looking for somebody who, for no reason, can put you somewhere so that at least the grassroots will be happy. But the question is, is that the right thing to do? Would there be a sanity in the country? Are we repeating the same thing that was done in future? So that when tomorrow we are not in power, somebody will do the same thing. Yeah. So that it means that we'll be repeating ourselves as a country. And it's no good. So Dr. Aini, big ups to you. I know him very well. I know his integrity. He's a nice man, very good brain, will do justice. But I'm pleading with them. Cases should not delay in our courts because we have a maxim like justice delay, justice denied. So the MPP people with small criminal cases over 7 years, and we cancelling them, and for them to.
That's why I ended up with the way I stopped in the reading.
Yes.
When you struggle with gathering evidence.
Yes.
Then it means that your case is almost becoming.
You don't have enough evidence, so you yourself filing disclosures, because if you file disclosures and you start cross-examination, it should not take you years in criminal cases. If you have enough evidence, it should not take you years.
Okay.
Criminal cases, and I also pray that we should give premium to those cases so that the trial would
case,
be.
I couldn't, speak with the oral team members, but is this case a part of it, the JB Dankwa murder? Is it something?
You see, it's a case that is already in court.
Yes, but is this something that because we were not seeing the end and end of that case?
You see, that is a serious political issue that we want to raise, because if JB Dankwa, who is a member of MPP, has died. Has been murdered in a very, very serious
on the front
manner.
page of Daily Guide, JB Dankwa's wife criticizes Parliament's silence.
You see, he should have done this at the tail end of MPP's administration, because at least JB Dankwa was a member of Parliament for MPP. And
Ivy Heward Mills, a widow of the late Member of Parliament for Abuakwa North, JP Dankwa Edu, has publicly criticized the Parliament for its prolonged silence and inaction regarding her husband's unresolved murder 9 years after his death. In the heartfelt message directed at the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Babing, as well as Majority Leader and Minority Leaders, Ms. Heward Mills expressed her deep disappointment over the lack of urgency in addressing her husband's murder.
If I can come in on that.
Just a few messages from you. Sorry. Good morning. I'm Eben from Kwabenya. I believe Oral can fight corruption. So I'm pleading with the Mr. President to let the judiciary speed up the cases when it's which are before them. Every loot needs to be reviewed and retrieved for the money to be used to develop the country. Greetings. To you there in the studio, Tony Obing, and to Tony Obing mining sector. Julius, good morning again, and then all the best at DVLA will be coming to your office pretty shortly. Chris from Asalibotre says that, Danny, I understand your fear about the normalization of Okada trade because I have walked so many miles in your shoes. So I shared your fears. However, it will be prudent for their activities to be regulated so that the law enforcement can adequately pay attention to them. Ghanaians should applaud Oral Team and the JDM for the good work, and reset the agenda has already given us some hope. Chris from Ashali Botre. Prosper says that, Danny, I think that we only sit in Accra and make noise. Come and see what is happening here at Asamang Tamfo, a town close to Osino, in the Etiwa East District. Galamsey is happening right close to the major railway crossing under construction. We are not serious people, and this thing is getting out of hands, and we need to act fastest before it swallows us. The level of lawlessness that has engulfed the country would need to purge. The canker is getting worse and deeper by the day, irrespective of the change in government. His Excellency JM would need to act now, and now is in capital letters. But Ambassador Sampere says, can he ask Honorable Nina if actually he felt there was something in their accusations against the persons they persecuted for 8 years? Is a question. The person who has actually caused the financial loss to the Saglemi housing project is Mr. Atachian, who just abandoned the most completed project and allowed the Saglemi project to be vandalized. Right, I have more, but please,
that's my uncle.
Pardon me. Who?
Sampi.
Sampiale. He's your uncle?
Yeah.
What politics can do. Thank you for coming through. Lawyer, thank you as well. It's your first time on the show, and you're welcome.
I enjoyed it.
We welcome you on the platform. We'll see you again. You enjoy his submissions. I also did enjoy. And viewers, I hope you also did.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for watching the show. We're back tomorrow with Good Morning Ghana. Good morning.
This is Coastal Park, a well-demarcated gated community carved out to host your residential and commercial properties.